Hello and welcome to the 10th episode of the Fandom Flux podcast. I once again thank Jeebus for me. I am the host of this podcast once again. I am KCW. With me are Sergeant Baker, aka Ethan.
Hey.
King of Zero X, aka Zero.
I'm a terrible host.
Yeah, he is.
With a terrible accent.
waiter. I'm also a terrible waiter, so...
Soon I may one day lay claim to the throne.
And back to doing the intro, Sliciness,
Hello.
aka Slicer. Yeah. And Kenchi, aka Kenchi.
Yeah, I may doze off for like 20 minutes straight, but just yell loud enough if you think I'm not awake. I'll be right up.
Okay.
All right, then.
So, I think we're all half asleep, really, to be honest with you.
A little bit.
Based on how this is going. Okay. Energy. Let's get this fire right.
Energy!
All right.
Yeah.
One last
Do
burst.
this.
Let's do this.
Yeah, okay. Right.
right.
First topic, as usual. What we're doing. Ethan, let's start with you.
Ah.
What are you doing?
Damn it, don't put me in the spotlight like that. Fuck you. What have I been doing? God damn it.
I can go. I've been doing almost nothing, so...
No, I've been doing a few things. Did anyone catch the new episode of Hellsing Ultimate Abridged?
Yes.
Ooh, there's
I
a
did.
new episode.
I need to watch that.
It's
Watch
18
it.
minutes long. It's fantastic.
Well,
They turned Rip Van Winkle into a YouTube commentator.
Pretty much. She's a Tumblr person, actually. I think that was the thing.
I don't know.
Or just
I
in
have
general, that
Yeah.
subtype, I guess.
Okay.
But and let's see here. I've mostly just kind of been writing since I signed up for National Novel Writing Month, so I kind of have to crunch considering the fact that I have 20 days to finish my story, and I
Write
only
faster.
have a couple. Yeah, I only have a couple thousand words down.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I feel all smug and superior.
How many words do you have down?
It's like 38 pages.
Well, I meant words specifically.
I don't know. I posted it, so
that's probably
Go
like,
whatever my
fuck
newest
yourself
story
and
is.
die.
that's probably like 12,000 words or something.
Yeah. Actually, give me your count after the podcast is done. I'm kind of interested in hearing and reading it. Anyway, but yeah, that's about it. I've kind of just been shunting myself off from society to crunch and work on my stuff. Casey,
Yes, hello?
what have you been doing?
What are you doing? I'm lost. This has never happened before. No one's ever asked me. I have to say it myself.
How's it
mutiny!
feel, fucknut?
Mutiny!
It's all
rebellion.
spiraling out of control. No. I've been playing Steam games for the most part. Just all sorts of stuff. Oh, I'll tell you what I have been playing. The Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. So, that's a fun game. It's like, you know how Minecraft did the whole, we're gonna let you play this while it's in beta, and you can pay for it and you'll have it when you're done?
Yeah.
When the game's done? Yeah, this is doing that. It's kind of fun. You know the old games where you could build your own dungeon?
Yeah, like Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing. It's kind of like that, only like massive multiplayer kind of thing. So you build your own, and then other people can try and steal from you, and you can likewise steal from them. So you can go into their dungeon and try and run through it so you can steal all their stuff.
That's cool.
It is
That
pretty
sounds
cool, and it's a fun game. So, yeah, they're in beta at the moment. You can sign up and hope you get a key, or you could pay... It was €20 for basic entry, so that's somewhere around $20. I couldn't be bothered to do the conversion myself.
I think the euro's actually doing better than the US dollar. I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
I think it's like $23 or something like that. I would
Yeah, it's close enough for it to barely matter. So, yeah, you can just get a key that way and do it. Just pay your way in. It's a fun game. Definitely recommend playing it. And some Steam games, so like Rogue Legacy and No Time to Explain, all the fun little ones like that.
Yeah, I checked out Steam Trade playing No Time to Explain.
It's a weird game, but
It's really funny. Like, have you gotten to the Games Are Art chapter?
No. I only started playing it today, and I played it for like half an hour and got stuck. So,
the other art chapter. And also something I forgot to add. I finished Clash of Kings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have to be able to get my hands on Storm of Swords.
That's the third one, yes?
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah, because I read that one split into two, and I forgot what the other parts were. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Now we're going to get us back on track. Zero, what have you been doing?
Well, I have a couple of things I've been doing this week. I have a little funny story to tell. Monday, I had parked right next to this no parking zone. There was a spot there. And I came back to my car, after school was over. And before I go any further, I want to tell you that I've never gotten a parking ticket before in my entire life.
I like where this is going.
Never, ever. Right? So I get in my car, and I start driving, and I'm driving home. It's a 4-minute drive, and then I see this thing on my window. It's like this black sort of squarish thing, right? And it's just there, right where a parking ticket would be. And I don't know what the color the campus police would use for their parking tickets, so I'm freaking out the entire way home. Like, oh my gosh, it's a parking ticket. Oh my gosh, gonna have to pay money or something like that. I don't know. And I'm just getting all upset and whatever. And I get home, and I run outside of my car, and I look at what's on my car, and it's this advertisement for muscle milk or whatever, muscle drink. And it's just get ripped, and I'm like.
Maybe you wouldn't freak out about your parking ticket so much if you weren't such a pussy.
I was just oh well. I just started laughing, because it's just I worried all about nothing.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not sure how I'd react if I saw that some guy outside of his car maniacally laughing, his hand bandaged from burn wounds, and his other hand clutching at a crumpled bodybuilding advertisement.
My arm actually isn't bandaged anymore. I got to take the bandages off a while ago because my arm's pretty much healed. It's just
is it golden brown?
It's discolored, but I wouldn't say golden brown.
Oh. How about infused with 11 secret herbs and spices?
If it
do they put the spices into the oil, or do they do that after? Or
no,
how do they do that?
I'm not allowed to tell.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to tell anything.
Colonel's gonna get on his ass, and we won't see him again.
I can't talk about it anymore. I have to stop talking about KFC.
All right.
It could be potentially dangerous for my career.
In fact, you should probably go and call your lawyer.
Yeah.
To see.
No, you need to run. You need to get to Mexico now. They're on you. They'll find you.
All right, let's move. Other thing I did this week, I released the new chapter of M1N470.
Yes, you did.
Really, it was more of a kind of a wrapping up the repercussions of the monster chapter. That was the previous chapter with the full moon battle and everything was just going insane and crazy, whatever. Kind of introduce new things and put rungs in the ladder for me to climb up and write more with foreshadowing.
Wait a minute. I just realized I might not actually have read that chapter.
Chapter 15.
Yeah, you said in the author notes at the beginning that people should read the chapter before because you'd rewritten some of it.
Yeah, the Labra stuff.
I think I just reread all of that and then just stopped and forgot to read the new chapter.
Whoops.
So,
Whoops.
Yeah, I'm sure it was great though.
I also got my worst. I think what is arguably the worst review I've ever gotten.
Like terrible review or pointing out something terrible.
Somebody just put the word bad.
Wow.
Okay.
Maybe he just really likes that Michael Jackson single.
No period or anything, just bad.
Did he capitalize it at least?
It was a capital B, A-D, done.
I think I made my point pretty clear.
Yeah, maybe he's just like, damn, you bad, son, kind of thing.
Maybe he just really likes Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I have no idea why. I have no idea what he finds so bad. But apparently he read to chapter 15 before he decided to say bad.
Well, I mean, he had to make sure he's learned before he gets his full opinion across, you know?
Yeah.
He's a
I don't know,
culture.
maybe he was just tired
I
of
checked out this guy. I kind of checked out this guy's profile because he was signing as a guest, which had and he had a name that was an actual profile. And I looked on it, and like the stories that he did favorite were all like fluff and whatever. And I was like, that.
It could have been much worse, though. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also learned a very valuable lesson. And that is, at the end of each chapter, I always do a question of the chapter, sort of to, help people to find something to respond about the chapter so they don't just say, nice chapter,
It's a good policy,
So,
I admit.
Like, for this one, I was like, this was really a picking up the pieces type chapter. I'm not sure what I could really get people to respond about. So, I have to do a question of the chapter that's a self-imposed rule, and I do it as a kind of a tradition. So I asked, if you had a persona, what would it be and why? And don't just say death or something because you're awesome. You'll make everyone else feel insignificant. And,
yeah.
Did anyone pick the penis chariot thing?
Mara?
Somebody said Mara.
Great Mara?
Yeah, somebody said Mara.
What was his reasoning?
If I had a persona, how about Mara the giant penis? Or the Skyrim version of Mara who isn't a giant penis? Can anime characters even be persona? But I'll probably be a Jack Frost with how I act around my friends and being uber cheerful.
Huh.
Yeah, basically what Zero did was ask everyone to please tell him about their super awesome OC self-insert characters.
He's got all the superpowers
Yeah.
and everyone likes him so much, and he can fly, and he gets all the cool people, and he has a girlfriend, even though I don't, and...
let's see, there's this one which is, I think 4 or 5 paragraphs at least. This one which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 13 paragraphs.
I totally want...
all about his super cool character.
I totally want someone to write an entire story and just send it to you and be like, this is for you.
Someone's done that to me before.
And at the end of my chapter, I put review, favorite, follow, and I put a pretty please with a blank on top, and I said pretty please with a henshin a go-go, baby, on top, which is a reference to Beautiful Joe.
Henshin a go-go, baby.
Only one person got my Beautiful Joe reference.
I got it.
Or cared enough to comment on it. That is 2 different things.
So yeah, one person put bad.
That just gets me. That is hilarious.
I
wonder what his day-to-day life is like. Just get up, walk, shoes, underpants.
I looked at one of the other reviews this person put because I was just really curious as to how they respond to other stories. They put cute. Another story, just one word.
Well, at least he's consistent.
But at least they bothered to give that. At least they bothered to give that review a period at the end.
He likes the other story better. That's why he added the punctuation.
No, we really don't know what kind of, connotations his version of the word bad actually has.
I know.
Yeah.
I really want to look up the lyrics to the song Bad because I don't know them and I want to recite them to you, but I don't.
I would not like to hear you sing. I'll put it like that, Casey. I'm sure that
Someone's trying to sing it, but the connection's not brilliant.
I'm sure there's probably someone who knows Weird Al Yankovic's cover over Michael Jackson's original song.
I'm bad.
I probably should.
Stop it. Stop it right now. You're going to create a monster, and I will not be a part of it.
We already
You
have
can't sing more than 5 seconds of it either. We'll get sued. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's true. No one...
All right. So,
Also, no one ever sing Happy Birthday to anyone ever.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, I heard
It's a
about
bad
that.
idea.
Didn't Warner Brothers copyright it? Was it Warner Brothers or something else?
I don't know. I just know it's copyrighted and it's incredibly expensive if you want to try and use it. So, just no, bad scene. Don't do it.
so we'd
It's
have
bad.
to sing Happy
Bad.
Birthday to a
Trombone.
different tone, like a different tune. Like we'd have to do Happy
No,
Birthday, but to the opening of Attack on Titan.
That's okay.
Happy birthday to you. It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
It wouldn't be a happy birthday in that universe, though. It'd just be like, yay, you survived another year.
I got this cool cake, but someone smashed through it by accident, and that just made me think of my dead parents.
I had this cool cake, but then the Titans came.
Yeah.
It's giving a grim reminder.
You don't bring string toys around that one guy, especially ones that spin around.
I don't get that reference, but whatever.
Yeah.
Should we,
Also
okay.
this week, aside from the new chapter, which is, yay, happy, it's my little brother's 14th birthday on, which we're celebrating
He doesn't want you talking
yesterday.
about.
Jesus. This was topical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking birthdays and shit. Yeah.
Mine's not until August, so
It all connects. So we went to Dave & Buster's, with, the arcade, and there's this one machine where you push the button and it drops a ball and it goes into a hole. You get like that amount of tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's skee ball or something, right?
No,
That's what it's called, isn't it?
It's like a dropping ball game where you push a button and the ball drops into a hole.
Oh, like Plinko on
Plinko.
Price is Right.
I guess.
I
I go up there and I swipe my card once and I push the button and it lands into like a 10 tickets. I'm like, oh, okay, that sucks. I swipe it again. It goes into 2 extra plays and then I check and there's actually 6 extra plays. So I just start slamming down my hand on the button and then I won the jackpot.
Wow.
I remember
I think
one time when I was younger, I had this really cool friend and I who went to Chuck E. Cheese, and he did one of those things where it's like, it's one of those like, okay, so you have to hit this one specific light bulb in this row that flashes across, and he fucking got it, and then he gave me all of his tickets. Like, I did not deserve to have that guy as my friend.
Is he still your friend?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a stackers game I once played as a kid where you had to just like stack these like boxes of light on top of each other.
Yeah.
I used to like play that all the time, and I've won in that game. I once won a $25 iTunes gift card after like 2 tries, and I once won an MP4 player in that, like a long time ago. What?
How was it?
It was okay. It was kind of crap, but it lasted me for a while.
The movie theater that always stocks those kind of things has pretty cool stuff. It has like knockoff tablets and stuff. I think it had a Samsung one there once.
So yeah, we went to the arcade. My little brother and his friends spent pretty much all their credits gambling games to get tickets.
It's an early habit.
I went over to the Infinity Blade thing, which they have a big, humongous touchscreen. I just started fighting things, trying to make my tickets last. I won the jackpot. What else did I really need? So, yeah, and then
once you get to the top, what's left?
What else is left there?
Just turns into Scarface, except with like tokens instead of cocaine.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Alright.
That better not be a song.
No.
No singing, no rapping.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
This is a music-free zone. This may as well be a fucking movie Footloose or something.
Happy
No singing, no dancing.
It's your birthday.
Who's Kevin Bacon, then, out of all of us? Who will be the young rebel?
I don't know.
Well, which one of us is the youngest?
It's a good question. That's probably Ethan.
Thanks for signaling me out, Casey.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Listen, you're the one that you openly admitted to someone almost blowing up your high school full of chemical weapons. So that means
yeah,
you're
and using a guy's wheelchair to get out of a fight by sitting in it and pretending to be crippled.
That's high school.
You are not a good person, Ethan.
Why?
You haven't finished fully developing yet. That means you're in high school.
He's still in high school, so that means you're the youngest.
Honestly, I kind of hope that if anyone does animated stuff of us, that they definitely do one of my wheelchair escapade.
you've mentioned.
Yeah.
Anyway, is that everything, Zero?
That's pretty much everything.
Yeah, all right. Slicer, you're up.
Basically only two things that I can talk about right now, because we're getting to the other stuff later, but I've been playing Fable 2 more, and I got sick of not writing the story I wanted to write, and I kind of cranked out this 15,000-word thing, like, overnight, and posted it. So, yay, it's a Fable story. It's about Rose living, instead of, getting shot in the opening.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to call it, so I just went with Rose Petal Sparrow upon asking a friend of mine.
That's
So,
heavy,
yeah.
man.
I'm
weird
looking
name,
for
but
alternate
it's whatever.
titles.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, is your friend somehow the personification of Hot Topic?
No. God, no. You'd probably light one of those on fire.
How about you just call it a rose that won't wilt? Because she doesn't die.
Every
Damn it.
rose has its
That's
thorn.
a good one.
Yeah.
Could people stop referencing songs?
We're allowed to reference them.
seriously?
You brought up the fact that we couldn't sing, so now we have to make every possible effort to make some sort of reference.
Ugh, okay.
You brought this upon yourself.
As long as we don't sing, I guess is okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Just to be safe, let's not recite the entire lyrics of a song.
Yeah,
That's the limit, okay? Stop at least one word from the end.
So we can just replace words with other words.
That could end
might
very
lead
bad.
down a bad. That might lead down a bad path. Okay.
You get a
Or
pair.
if we remove them, just, like, leave a blank spot. That'd be even
So
worse.
we changed that Michael Jackson song, put in Mr. Duram, and you get, Jerry, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Jerry?
You're singing. No singing. No singing. No singing.
I'm singing a
This
song
was the
that
rule.
doesn't exist.
We went over the rules like 20 seconds ago. No singing.
All right. That's the end of my story, so move on to Ken.
All right.
Singing bad. Bad singing. Actually, yeah. Bad singing, but also singing is bad, so no singing. Kenchi, you're next.
Okay. Did anybody ever get so drunk you had to call a cab to take you to Wendy's?
No,
What?
but I'd like to hear someone who might.
All right, so
Nathan.
last night I had a horrible idea to go to a party, and I had to work at like 4 a.m. today. And I got home at 1, and I didn't get to sleep till like 2, so I got basically 2 hours of sleep. I basically didn't sleep, so I didn't even have time to get hungover. So
Yeah.
It's gonna hit you like a sack of hammers, dude.
yeah, it will, but
Like,
whatever.
physically, you're going to tumble from your desk at some point.
You're going to just be writing a scene, and then you're just going to suddenly collapse,
Yeah.
like on your keyboard.
If that happens, you'll all know about it because it's going to be in.
Yeah, we'll just hear the thunk of your head hitting the desk, and then it's...
And then like 1,000 E's will show up in the chat.
Yeah.
How? He would have to press enter.
Oh
He
yeah.
could roll in his sleep. He could roll in his sleep.
Well, so it's a ear...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Anyway,
Anything else, Kenchi, other than working
aside from that,
one day?
I've been playing trying to play Battlefield 4, and it's like after playing Call of Duty forever, it's a bit of a shock to switch over.
It is.
But
It really
yeah,
is.
it's an adjustment period, but I like it so far.
Oh. Apparently Ghost sucks, so you made the right choice.
Yeah, Ghost plays like Black Ops 2, which to me was bad. Black Ops was the worst game out of the bunch to me, but Black Ops 2 is like right behind it. I didn't like Black Ops 2
But
at
you
all.
get a dog.
You had I don't like games that. First of all, I don't like any game or first-person shooter that Treyarch was behind.
That's fair.
I've
Yeah,
had that
they were
opinion for a
crap
long
ones.
time, actually.
Their online play has always been bad. World at War's online was bad. Black Ops was pretty bad to me compared to like the Modern Warfare games.
Hey, the Treyarch ones introduced zombies, though. That was something.
Ugh,
That was a thing.
overhyped shit.
I actually have gotten my friends mad at me before who have been really into that. Whenever I'll like jokingly go, "Oh, you mean that stupid game that came with my zombie shooting simulator?"
That's great.
Mm.
That dog is straight out of Colonial Marines, I swear.
Alright, let's see.
It's motion capture, dude. It's the latest in dog advancements in dog science and technology.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we did the Fable dogs like that?
What?
Think they did the Fable dogs like that?
Like they went for like motion capturing dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
I highly
They
doubt
move
it.
pretty realistically, so maybe.
I don't know. Pixar characters move pretty realistically, and they hand animate those.
Man, motion capturing a dog, though. Can you imagine trying to get into that suit with the balls on it?
Yeah, it'd keep chasing its own suit.
Pretty sure the dog is trained to hold still while you put it in the suit.
I really wanted to turn out that like none of those little balls are any kind of technology, and they just end up gluing ping pong balls individually in separate spots.
Right.
Like
They're not that technological. They're just like reflective, so the light bounces off them in a certain way. That's all.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's how it works.
like
What about the little
this
metallic dots? Is that for like certain just wrinkles and like very minimal stuff on the face?
things?
I don't know. I just watched how they did the Ruby animation, and that's how they explained it. The balls are reflective, so that a camera picks them up, and then you can track the movement. Then you put it on a skeletal frame and put the skin over it, and then you've got, animation. It moves
I
forward.
don't know. I still prefer the personal touch of hand animated characters over.
Translated, he prefers the personal touch of millions upon millions of dollars of investment into doing it the hard way rather than the way that's easy and still pretty
I'm
realistic.
sorry, repeat most of that. You cut off.
Yeah,
cut
dude.
off.
Okay. You prefer that people do it the really hard and expensive way rather than the easy way that still gets pretty much the same results.
I wouldn't say exactly the same results. There's still.
I didn't say exactly the same results. I said pretty much the same results.
I don't know.
Vocabulary.
Yeah, you know what, Ethan? You're like a piece of cheese at the corners. In other words, you'll never be a slice.
What?
That is so bad.
I know.
That is so bad.
And in that moment, we all became aware that Kenchi is half asleep. I must say Kenichi.
I don't even know what that meant.
It didn't mean
What?
anything.
I believe that's the
Okay.
point, and we can move on to the next fucking topic, because it's swearing.
Episode 10
Oh,
featuring
yeah.
Ruby Kenchi.
Hang on, I did forget something about what I did this week. Remember that interview I talked about that I had on Friday last week?
How'd it go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, went into the job center for an advisor appointment this week, and turns out they're saying I wasn't there.
What?
So, to recap the entire story, I go to this interview on the Friday, new suit, new clothes, £15 in taxi fare, only to find out that the interviewer decided I wasn't that important to speak to, even though I was a prospective employee. Then go into the job centre the next week, and apparently they're saying that I wasn't there.
Sounds like somebody
So
went to
not
the
only
wrong
were
room.
they not there, they're saying I wasn't.
Did you
So I'm guessing
go to
there
them
was
about this?
What am I supposed to do? Spend another 15 quid on taxi fare just so I can go up there and yell at them?
There's a thing called a phone.
Yeah.
Can you make
I don't
like
want to
a counterclaim on
yeah.
that, or?
I don't know. My advisor is apparently checking up on everything that they're saying and all this stuff. It's ridiculous. I was livid when I found out.
It'll be okay.
Poor job centre employees. I yelled at them for quite a while.
It'll be okay, Casey.
Completely undeserving.
Casey, it'll be okay.
I'm an asshole.
It'll be okay.
Don't! See what you're doing.
It's okay, Casey.
Watching you.
It's okay.
Listening to you.
We're all here with you. You're among friends.
I'm not. I'm kind of
Right.
laughing. I'm kind of an ass too, in case you hadn't noticed.
It's okay,
Really?
Ethan. It's okay, Ethan. It's okay.
God damn it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not your
Anyway.
fault.
Now?
It's not your fault.
So, yeah. That was, I don't even know what Zero's doing anymore.
I don't know either.
That was everything that I had to say. So, yeah. That was a pain in the arse.
Yay.
Yay.
British
Now,
system.
next topic is swearing, as Slicer said before. So,
Fuck yeah.
swearing in writing. Someone actually mentioned that we don't talk about fan fiction or fan stuff all that much on this podcast, and we should probably do more of that. I'm kind of in agreement with that, since we didn't talk about it at all, except for the recommendations last week.
Which got cut.
So we've got yeah. Well, it didn't get entirely cut. We just lost the end of mine and me calling Zero a terrible host. That's pretty much all we lost. So, no big loss.
Yeah, nothing about
continuity.
Anyway, so yeah, we've got a few topics on that kind of stuff this week. And swearing is the first one. Specifically, how not to swear when writing. Because, yeah, swearing is a tricky thing. If you don't do it at all, it doesn't seem like, real people, because real people swear sometimes, especially when they're really, really angry.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, if you swear a lot, then you sound like a 13-year-old that just discovered what swearing is.
But it makes
Thus
you
doing
sound
it all
so
of the time.
cool and hard and gritty and on the edge.
You sound like a big boy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Otacon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's not good to do.
Yeah.
Overuse.
It's
Yeah, overuse
as with
is bad.
most things, it's a moderation thing. You don't go overboard with anything really, but swearing in particular, especially, tell you what, very specifically, try to keep it as minimal as possible at the very, very beginning of whatever you're writing.
This might make more sense if you explain how this topic came about.
Yeah. Last time Slicer recommended a fic, it was one of those computer game fics that you see from time to time from certain authors, some of them very, very good, like someone on this podcast, and some of them less so.
Not to point the finger or anything.
Yeah.
Shameless plugging
Anyway.
aside.
From that, yes. So I read this fic, and in the first chapter, within 500 words, the main character swears 8 times, and by swears I mean fuck. He says fuck 8 times in the space of 1 sentence. That's kind of too much. I mean, angry certainly is one defense that you could use, but 8 times is too much. It might come off better if it's further on in the story, where maybe it's less frequent and less jarring if there's been swears more often through the fic, so you've gotten used to it a little bit. But just starting right off the bat at the very beginning of the fic with basically a wall of swearing is off-putting.
I'm
very
going
much
to defend
so.
this fic here. That he
Go for
calms
it.
down later. That wouldn't be possible. The point of that
He
entire
does.
scene is that he's just discovering all of this at once, and it's just really, he's very pissed off about it, to put it lightly.
He does, but the thing is, that's the problem. It's later, and by later, you might not bother reading the fic anymore because it seems juvenile.
I honestly,
I should probably mention I didn't have this problem at all. He noticed the swearing, but I just drifted right past it.
It might also be because you can tell it's an American writer writing a British story.
And there we go.
It's a Harry Potter fic, but the thing is, he's constantly saying that Harry is doing the 2-finger salute, the V sign. That's basically saying fuck you, and he's doing this every 5 minutes in the story. So it's not that it's just in that one scene. It's it's all the way through it, and you might not notice it if you're American and don't get what he's doing, but that's what he's doing.
Yeah,
I
didn't
minute
get that.
he's swearing.
So.
I was aware of that, actually.
I get it because I'm culturally aware.
Same here, man.
I know what it means. I mean, I didn't notice he did it that much, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Anytime that anything to do with the game comes up, it's briefly mentioned that he flicks his V's up in the air, and that's...
I don't know. Honestly, my thing is, even through the small amount of material I've read from Harry Potter, I just don't see that as being in character.
Yeah, I mean, they don't swear a lot in the story, in canon, and even if you could say that swearing sometimes is just not written about, this is the character that's constantly had his best friend calling him on his language all the time. So, he would have been, like, constantly having it picked out whenever he tries to do it. So, I don't know, it doesn't seem like something the character would do.
Yeah,
to me, anyway.
Like, he's a pretty proper guy, despite the fact that he lived with a bunch of assholes for a family.
Most of the time, yeah, and there's a temper problem to the character, which is called out a lot, and admittedly, it would make sense that he would be incredibly angry at this point in the story. But the swearing thing still really bugs me. It's kind of a problem that I have with some fics when they try and do that, and it just doesn't come off well.
Yeah.
For me, swearing... Sorry, excuse me. You want to talk, or...?
Yeah, considering I've been trying to kind of wedge my point in for a while. Anyway.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I feel that swearing can be good if you want to like say that this is serious. Like, say you have a character who probably wouldn't normally do that, but then like a few scenes in, and you can see he's really getting frustrated. He does it. That's kind of one of those really good ways to say, like, oh, you might want to stop.
Yeah, there's time and place for it, certainly. But the problem is when it's constant and when it's just like there's almost no reason for it doesn't seem like there's a reason for it, then it just comes off as the writer being juvenile and just discovered swearing and thinks, oh, this is so cool. Everyone's so pissed off whenever I say this or that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you hear
admittedly, I
random
did that
laughter,
when I was
it's
a kid
because
as
they're
well.
typing Chuck Norris jokes into the chat about Kenchi.
Kenchi.
Mm.
Yeah.
So on the topic of swearing, what my personal opinion is, in all my fics, I really only have one character that will pretty much really swears the most, and that's Shinji in Persona, because
makes sense.
he is a hardened dude who,
Yeah, he's from the streets.
Yeah, he does swear.
I always kind of saw him as kind of a bro character.
Not really.
Yeah, it's really part of his character.
I'm thinking of Junpei. Sorry.
Yeah,
Junpei.
that's Bropei. But
no, I believe you mean Broske.
No, he means Bropei. That's a different game. Oh, whatever, Ethan. Fucking shut up.
But
Hey.
like, he's the only character I ever write that will really he's going to swear. But I think out of all my fics, I've only used maybe the F word like 3 times. Because it's just, only when I have to double check that, because there's one scene where Shinji's really upset. But, I try to, I'll usually use lesser curse words, that more correlate with, their frustration or anything, but are funny in a way, in the way they're used. Try to stay away from the more serious curse words, because those are just
there is a reason it's called the F-bomb. Because you drop it and it's serious. You don't throw it everywhere.
I tend to use swear words as a kind of a way to establish class. Like, for example, in the story I'm currently writing, I have a character use the metaphor, it's raining buckets, but she says it in a way where it's like, in case you hadn't noticed, it's raining fucking buckets out here. So, and she says it to kind of she's kind of a subordinate to this person, so it's kind of to establish that she's pretty low.
Yeah, curse words can establish characters, but at the same time, they can also kind of make
destroy them
two-dimensional.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you characterize a character with only curse words, there's a fine line. Well, not really that fine, but...
And this is why the Angry Video Game Nerd grew incredibly stale for me very early on.
Yeah, that guy's a tosser. Hypocrisy, I know, but still.
Yeah, that went places I'm foreign to quick.
The Angry Video Game Nerd basically just says,
I think people on the internet are
dog
aware
shit,
of...
tacos and shit like that. Fucking just swearing in really vulgar and kind of disgusting ways about the most trivial crap ever.
I mean, he kind of started out as a parody of those kinds of people, but he's kind of become what he hates.
Yeah, he's become the Mask a little bit.
Great.
He's become the Mask. You guys ever see that movie, The Mask?
It was alright.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Have you guys read the comic it was based off of?
No.
I have not.
It is really violent. Like, say, for example, there is a scene where he takes a handgun and shoots into a guy's crotch until he dies.
All right.
And also, the mask doesn't just follow one guy. It's kind of like sort of a perpetual device that just kind of follows other people around.
I hate the second movie that they made with the name The Mask.
No, Son of Mask.
No. No.
Okay.
No?
I don't like that second movie.
Okay.
Right. So it doesn't exist?
It doesn't exist. No. There's
All
only
right.
The Mask. There's nothing else.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. If I can bring it back to the topic at the moment,
Sure, go for it.
sort of segue into the next one, writing for other cultures. I ran into problems with the Fable fic because they're very British in the prologue of that game, and I didn't know how to write that very well, so I gotta help give props to my friend who we've mentioned before, Jordinio, for that. He kind of Britished it up a little bit, which I appreciate. Because even reading the stuff he added, I don't understand half of it. It's just too British for me, I guess.
I have to admit, I am kind of terrified about having to write for Minako.
Who?
From Casey's story, where he's British.
Oh, okay. I heard Minako, like with a K-O.
Oh.
Also British, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Either would work. I'm looking this story up because if you can't understand it, then I'm wondering whether I can understand it, being British.
Well, it's just
So,
mainly, I think, like 2 lines that I just didn't... I've never seen words like that before, but...
I'm just kind of curious if you're more worried that you think you'll be too subtle, or if you kind of feel like what Ubisoft did for the Prepper in Zombie U.
I wanted to play that game, but I'm not going to buy a Wii U just to play one game.
He's really
really
cocky.
hypocritical because I'm going to buy a PS4 just to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
I'll
That's kind
tell you
of the
this.
selling point.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. He's really cockney. Like, he doesn't say the, he says t.
That's not Cockney.
What is it?
That's like Deadpoolese, I guess.
I think that's southwest England, maybe Cornwall. No, Dorset. I think that is.
Well, either way, his dialect is really pronounced.
Yeah, don't quote me on that though. The t thing is, I don't know. It's certain places.
To kind of like not necessarily justify stereotypes or really thick accents, but there is this YouTube Let's Player called Electrical Beast, and you really have to listen to him to truly experience how British this man is.
Okay.
How British this man is.
Yes. Like, every time I listen to him, I feel that he constantly has at least 6 monocles on each eye and a top hat that he has to duck under doorways to get through.
I actually do have a top hat.
Okay, so you're not saying he's British, you're saying he's posh. There's a difference.
No, he's really British.
Also, you think I should be wearing a top hat then?
You should.
I can't tell because we're in a Skype conversation, so...
Casey, I think I'll take my
what?
top hat and I'll go to England, and then we can go wear top hats and monocles and walk down the street.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that, yeah.
Right.
Just get some fancy canes and just like walk and like look down on.
Oh, I've
everybody.
always wanted a cane.
I
Yeah,
am
me
really
too.
glad one of us in this call is British, because otherwise this would be horribly offensive.
You don't have a cane?
I really want to get a
I have like
cane.
6
want one
canes.
In like silver, and it has to be silver tipped with like some kind of animal head at the part you hold.
And it has to be hollow and have a sword
Be the
inside it.
grip.
Yes.
Oh, those are illegal here.
They're illegal everywhere.
They'll never know.
And maybe your top hat turns into like...
Wait. Sword canes are illegal in America, but you are okay with guns?
I don't know the logic.
You have to have a
Okay, I'm
license
telling
to
you.
have a gun.
Hey, you guys think nunchucks are worse than guns?
No, we don't.
Yeah, you did. For a while, it was worse to have nunchucks out than firearms. That's why they changed Michelangelo's weapons when you guys got them.
Again, no, even our police don't carry guns. No one carries guns except very specific registered people.
God,
we really don't like guns
people.
in this country.
Weird people. Wait. What did they get instead of nunchucks?
A billy club. Fucking nightstick.
I can totally see Michelangelo with just holding two like brightly colored nightsticks, just beating guys away with them.
Huh.
Yeah, you do have a point though about the whole like offensive weapons thing. I mean, we weren't allowed to use the word ninja.
Yeah, you guys use hero.
What?
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles it was over here.
What?
Why?
Did you guys have to ever...
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
In fairness, it was a kids' cartoon, and ninjas are assassins and trained killers.
Fair enough.
So, you know.
I forgot what I was going to
And the turtles aren't really ninjas, if you think about it.
They're more just they're basically Power Rangers. They're reptilian Power Rangers.
I'm guessing you don't know the game Ninja then, you know. Where you get people in a circle and they all have to try to hit each other. Like,
have you ever, tell me, Casey, have you ever played that really famous balls to the wall hard NES game, Hero Gaiden?
It took me a second to get that. I am really low on sugar right now.
Or maybe the Xbox version, Hero Gaiden Black.
Yeah, don't run the joke into the ground. Taking it a bit too far there, Ethan.
Okay.
You've gone too far.
Don't sing!
Like anyone's gonna care about us.
I think I've made up that song, so it's okay.
Okay. We're okay, probably. I hope.
Casey, let me ask you...
Unless you accidentally came up with a song that already exists, then we're in trouble.
Casey, let me ask you this. Who would care?
Me.
I like how quiet you are.
How greedy
too.
people are. Anyway, next topic.
Not like they get anything from
ideas. I'm not sure what that is. Or wait, yes I do.
Writing for other cultures we haven't actually talked about yet.
Yeah.
Oh, all right then.
We briefly did, but that was about it. So, yeah.
We kind of talked about how the four of us view your culture, Casey.
Yeah.
Badly,
called,
apparently.
Better, with less deadly weapons, so you have less chance of being murdered in the street.
That's adorable.
Less.
That you think
not
that?
zero.
That's just cute. Anyway.
I don't really want to go here right now. I don't want to put politics in the podcast.
I'm really bad at debating, so I would lose. But
so you're not a master debater?
No. Not even a little.
Really?
I got that joke.
Are you 12?
No. King of Zero might be. He laughed at it.
Yeah. All right.
Only because I thought it was slightly clever. Slightly.
You thought it was
Slightly.
That joke is decades old.
I didn't know that, so now I'm not going to laugh anymore. Anti-laugh.
Okay. You
backwards.
still doing Chuck Norris jokes in the chat? Really?
Yeah, you kind of are becoming the most immature one of us because I stopped finding those funny quite a while back.
It's just really boredom.
So you're finding the podcast boring. Okay, that's fantastic.
No.
Though I do like this one because, you punctuated it quite well. The Reaper fears Kenchi. 618.
That's kind of implying there's 617 other Kenchis roaming around the world.
That'd be pretty cool.
It would be terrifying.
Hey, is that how you update so often? You get all the other ones to do the work for you?
Yeah, you've only got one kid chained up in your basement to write for you. He has 617.
Mm.
Speaking of which, can I come back out now? I'd like to see the sun again.
No.
I mean, it took.
You have 300,000 more words to write. You get out when you're done.
It took 617 tries before they finally got it right. It made me.
Oh.
I guess. I don't know.
That's what they all think.
I like escape from the cloning factory and shut it down so no more illicit and dark crimes could be committed anymore. Someone should be writing this down.
So what we're saying is Kenchi is Mewtwo.
That's the story. Story I'll use. I'm just gonna come up with.
Who was the original that they based him off of?
Who's the original fan fiction author?
I don't know, but I'm way more awesome than that guy is. So.
Yeah, it's like Mewtwo is better than Mew.
I wouldn't go that.
Yeah, Mewtwo is better.
Yeah,
than Mew.
it can talk.
No question.
It can talk.
Yeah. It can create a storm that can
how
wipe out all
come
life
you
on the
can't
planet.
talk?
Maybe it's just so high above everyone else that it doesn't use language, or at least any language that we can perceive.
That, or it might be able to talk, it just doesn't want to.
Yeah,
Mew's it's pretty posh.
I can totally see, like, the original Mew having some, like, James Earl Jones style voice when it eventually decides to talk to someone.
I have no idea who that is, but yeah.
James Earl Jones was Darth Vader.
Or at least the voice.
Oh, okay.
Mew.
Right. So.
Oh, that would actually work, too.
Hang on. So this is what it has come to, Mewtwo. Mew.
Mew.
Alright, stop it.
Anyway.
I have made alterations to our deal. Pray that I do not do it again.
Mew.
Imagine if Mewtwo sounded like that.
Mewtwo. Oh, that'd be crazy. Oh, if it just had the high-pitched voice while it's talking in your brain.
or even worse,
telepathically and really happy.
Or even worse, if it didn't, like Mewtwo.
Mewtwo. My clones are genetically perfect. They are better than the original.
Pokemon.
I think we just turned Mewtwo into Cartman.
Yeah,
I believe so a little bit.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
You stop eating my cheesy poof.
Anyway, we've completely gone off topic again, haven't we?
We went from cultural diversity to Mewtwo as Eric Cartman.
Yeah, somehow. All right, writing for other cultures. Yeah. Writing for British, don't just say wanker every 5 seconds because that's stupid. And not many people actually say wanker.
Yeah, they say tosser, apparently.
Fairness. Or they say bugger, or,
Clearly you've not read Ozzy Osbourne's autobiography.
Ozzy Osbourne, that is your baseline for the British culture.
I'm not saying that, I'm just saying there's exceptions that justify the rule.
It's bloody ludicrous.
That's not how that works. Okay. Writing for other cultures. Okay, let's make this a little bit more specific since this is so prevalent now. Writing for Japanese cultures.
Okay, you're kind of doing that.
I am
a
doing
little
it.
bit.
I think Kenchi
Basically, we all are.
Yeah.
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, not Zero. Kenchi is kind of iffy. I mean it's
iffy. Like
Naruto isn't really Japanese quite.
I allude to it, but I don't fucking, I don't try to make it. Like, I'm American, and I'm not going to know anything really about Japan. So I don't try to...
It's kind of required for us because the fan fiction we're writing for kind of does specific holidays.
Yeah.
Makes that a little bit easier. Plus, I technically cheated because the protagonist is American-Japanese, and one of the other characters is an Americanophile, I suppose you could call them. So they're in love with American culture, so I can make just American references and it's all fine. And it makes sense. It's kind of cheating, but it works.
So, like, I'll try, I try to keep it, like, as in the culture as I can without making it seem like I'm reaching or I'm posing or something. Because I don't really know the first thing about Japan culture. I don't know. And I'm not going to act like I do. So...
Yeah.
With Naruto, you can really get away with that, though. I mean, you can just, like, pick and choose whatever you want.
It's like alternate Japan.
Yeah, none of it's really Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like the Naruto world, which is kind of similar to Japan, but not really. I mean, you could take other series like One Piece. That's an entirely different world where cultures are pretty much entirely different. You could say different sections of it represent different parts of the real world, but that's about it. And
I don't know what world you're talking about. There's
anywhere.
mer people and skeletons.
Are you kidding? We live in that world. Don't you act like we don't.
We do.
Yeah, it's like East Blue is supposed to be like Japan and China and that kind of stuff. I think North Blue is supposed to be European.
How the hell would you know that? I've never even seen any other oceans. I don't remember.
No, it's from like what's the name of the? I've forgotten what his name is. The really popular one, Trafalgar Law.
What,
I think
Law?
his name is. Yeah, with his Jolly Roger is different from everyone else, and it's supposed to be like for a European culture or something. I forget. This was like years ago when I looked this up. But,
Well, I mean, then again, this is also how the Japanese represent other countries. They tend to make some pretty broad strokes.
Yeah, that's also true. It goes the other way as well.
Yeah.
So
Like,
for
they
me,
still do the ring thing on certain African-American characters.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I know.
I'm glad you laughed at that specifically, Kenchi.
Yeah, I've seen enough anime to know how black people are going to be portrayed 9 times out of 10.
super awesome if you go by any sports anime.
Well, yeah, but that's it.
If you watch any sports anime, then African people are gods among
Like
men.
Hajime no Ippo, they made him look. They made the black boxer dude, like the first black boxer, like he was gonna murder his face, which was kind of hilarious.
Did you look anything like Clubber Lang?
No, he kind of looked like. Who do you look like? I'm not gonna say he had. Well, he looked like a stereotypical black boxer. That's all I'm gonna say. Like a stereotypical black boxer from the '80s. That's what he looked like.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
And then there was that whole like thing 4Kids did with that one black character, that sort of black henchman from One Piece, where instead of just like maybe altering his lips a little, they turned him white.
They did.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to remind me what you're talking about.
When they
because I
first
don't-
meet Captain Buggy, and that guy kind of introduces everybody.
Yeah, that's the one.
There's also
like
the Jinx Pokemon.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah.
And Mr. Mr. Popo.
Yeah, I was
Dragon
about
Ball
to say,
Z.
and
Yeah.
Mr. Popo, Dragon Ball Z. Where they made him
Jinx
blue.
is kind of up in the air. I don't
think Jinx really counts because that did have a basis in Japanese folklore.
Yeah, but
that's
people thought
supposedly what that was supposed to represent, but people got a bit about it.
I think it really helps show that people are always almost looking for racism in a way.
Kind of
It
at
does,
this
yeah.
point.
I mean, I didn't see Jinx like that, but then again, I was 8 and didn't really care about racism.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, it's still around. No one's denying that, but it's not as prevalent as it once was.
Where I live, the Ku Klux Klan was still strong in the 90s. That should tell you something.
You ever actually looked up the Ku Klux, their website?
They have a website.
They have a
Of course
Yeah,
they have
it's
a
really-
website.
It's really weird. It's like all family friendly and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
It's a little creepy. Yeah.
You're gonna link. You better
certain
you better
branches
link
of
that.
that I think are trying to change their
Do
image.
they have any like flash
Something.
games or anything?
I don't know. I didn't spend that much time looking
You should
at it.
li-
They talked about it on the internet box once, and I had to. It was in the linked up. I had to look it up and see what it was.
You should link. You should
It's-
link to that site.
It's something. Yeah, because I want the Ku Klux Klan on my browser history. That would be lovely.
At least they didn't have a
I've had
Facebook
worse.
page. That would have been worse if you accidentally clicked like on one of their articles.
They probably do.
So I think they do.
Yeah. I think I'm not sure, but
I feel like the government should track that. If a Ku Klux Klan has like a Facebook page, it'd be like, okay, that person liked it. They're probably one of them.
well, I mean, you know,
But you have that free speech
Yeah,
thing, so it's all
like-
okay.
it's, like,
you really believe in
I
that?
mean, it's really, really hard to try and deny the fact that they're doing kind of basically a hate crime, but they really haven't, like, unless they physically lash out, no one's going to stop them. Like the Westboro Baptist Church,
Yeah.
no one's stopped them yet, despite all of the horrible things they've done.
I depends on what your definition of stop is. There was a story where a soldier just tackled one of them. That was good.
Yeah, I'm
really
pretty sure.
Well, you shouldn't do that either because that just gives them more publicity.
Granted, not my culture, but I think your general rule for things like that is it's okay as long as they're not actually hurting anyone. And then it becomes a hate crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't,
over here, you're not even allowed to talk about it.
Can't.
You're not even allowed to say things like, "Oh, these people should die." You're not. No, you get arrested for that shit.
Yeah, we can't.
No question.
We can't do anything until something physical occurs, and then.
Then all bets are off, right? I should hope so, anyway. So this got political really fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's move away from politics and on to our next topic.
Let's move away from cultures because apparently that becomes a thing on this podcast. Apparently,
Whoops.
Politics flux.
Diversity.
Yeah. So let's move on to this is Kenchi's
Wouldn't
topic.
it be nice if everything was nice?
Yeah, light bulb ideas. So from Kenchi's explanation, this is when you do something or see something completely random and then you get an idea for a story from that somehow. It probably has absolutely nothing to do with it, but it gives you an idea. So, Kenchi, you better have some examples for this.
First example, I was taking a shower, and somehow fucking came up with the entire skeleton, the plot of Sealed Kunai. Second example.
Yeah, shower's a common one.
Second example, I got into a 20-minute long argument with my brother about 2 years ago about Pokemon Red and Pokemon Yellow and our original Pokemon teams that devolved into a fist fight. And thus...
Who won?
I won, of course. And
it's still mounted on my mantle.
During the process of the beating, I came up with the #1 hyperactive knucklehead Shinobi.
During the beating, so you're just like, boom, boom, hey, this is good, boom.
Well, eventually I got him down and didn't have to focus any more than just rocketing my fist forward every few seconds.
Oh, so you're just kicking him on the floor.
Yeah, pretty much it devolved to me beating a downed opponent.
Boom, boom. Hey, this seems like a good idea. What do you think? Boom, boom.
So, boom, I think, boom, we should, boom. Right, boom, about Pokemon and Naruto, boom.
Like, I don't think I didn't say anything, but I'm pretty sure I had the blankest look on my face while I was staring off in space. While I was thinking about it.
Makes it worse.
And hitting him.
Like a
psychopath then.
Full-blooded killer.
And we haven't
Kenchi
fought
6
again.
Night has entered berserk mode.
And we haven't fought again since then, so...
Shocking.
Hey, kids.
Hey, you want to fight? I need a story idea.
I told everyone this on the first chapter I wrote of that story, about how I...
Yeah, you did. I remember that.
Yeah. Right, I kind of have a...
Kenchi's rage. Super effective.
I kind of have a few light bulb ideas. My main fic, M1N470, I got from just putting numbers and letters together, because I was bored. I was like, hey, it's M1N470, and then the entire plot started to unfold before me about a thing where he switches. I was like, with Aegis in the beginning. Just really
Was there
weird.
an angelic choir involved in this?
It was just like, well, yeah, I guess it was pretty much there, yeah.
Nice falsetto.
Yeah.
Read it.
Yeah. And I gonna cough for a little bit. But that was, just a random like M1N470. So obviously he has to switch with August and become a robot man.
Oh, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Because if you put the 1 for the I and the 4 for the A, the 7, 0 for the TO, that means he's a robot.
Comes together so nicely.
It's just wrapped nicely in a package.
It would probably get me really intrigued about it if he starts combining with other robots to form bigger robots.
Are drills involved?
Does he turn into Devastator?
No. He does have armors. He does have armors that he gets to wear their personas.
Oh, so that's more
strange.
like what Power Rangers did with like the Red Ranger always having those armor upgrades.
like the personas, instead of being actual, like, stick an evoker to your head, they kind of fuse onto him like armors, and he kind of, I guess, becomes them, hence the summary.
Yeah.
Cool.
It is a pretty cool idea, by the way.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And I've got, like, several other things.
Don't worry, Casey. Yours is still cool, too.
Like
You're writing that one.
Like,
whether it's cool or not is your job.
Like the musician's
Sorry.
song in the fic, where I was thinking, actually, like, in Persona 1 and 2, there was the pianist and the singer lady, that were in the Velvet Room.
Yeah.
I was like, where did they go?
Belladonna and the other guy.
And the other guy, yeah. I was like, where did they go?
I don't think he had a name.
He was like the painter dude. None of them really had names, I don't think.
No, Belladonna had a name. I just don't remember the name of the pianist.
Yeah.
Whether he had one or not.
So I was like, where did they go? And then I came up with a new feature for the story, based on that.
Remembered. He was called Nameless.
Yeah.
That was it. He literally was called Nameless. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So because I was wondering where those two went, I came up with the idea for the Musician's Hall in the story, where he can basically learn songs to play on the lyre that Orpheus would have, or whatever. And those songs have, like, attacks.
I really like that idea, actually.
Like, I came up with these ideas based off things I found were off,
Yeah.
And that's really where, things...
It's where a lot of fan fiction starts off,
yeah.
basically. Someone just going, what if?
Mm-hmm.
Why did this happen? They never offered an in-game explanation for it, so I'll come up with my own explanation for it and integrate it into my story.
Yeah.
Or make a story off that. No other stories really have a sort of a light bulb inspiration. It was me just sort of like being like, oh, what happened to,
I'll just throw together some crossovers and see what happens, kind of thing.
Yeah, I kind of, it worked out sometimes. It didn't work out some other times. It was me trying to really, find where my strengths were, I guess, and, find things that could work. One of my stories, The Empty Seat, was given to me. How's that for a light bulb idea? Actually, what happened was...
I don't think that counts.
Actually, what happened was the person was like, I have an idea. What if you were to do Persona and Kingdom Hearts? And then they mentioned that. And they were like... And from the second they mentioned that, it caused a light bulb idea in my head, which was completely different from theirs. Their idea was, like Minato is like a shadow, and then he goes into Persona 4 Arena, and then he meets Aegis, and I was like, but no, wait, no, I have an idea that came from your idea, which is completely different. Very much better.
Yeah, I think.
Did you actually say the very much better bit?
No,
you really aren't required at this point, so please leave.
He's like, I just want a pairing of Aegis and Minato. I'm like, we'll see what happens. Slowly turning into harem.
Write that.
Hey,
Speaking of writing, I'm going to interject threateningly. Write that Krillin story, or I will.
Okay.
Damn it.
Okay.
Damn it.
And I will find you.
You guys can both write the story,
Yeah, we can both write it. I offered to share with you, and then you were like,
I can't help it. Like, I operate, like, if we wrote it together, I'd be always blazing ahead with it. So, which wouldn't be fair to either one of us. Like, you would probably have idea of something I'd have written, 5 chapters back. Or written past.
You know what?
You're sort of getting a full head, aren't you, Kenchi?
No, I'm just saying, when I start something new, I go, I put out a bunch of chapters really fast, get a base for it already.
Yeah, he does.
How about this, Kenchi? How about this? I'll let you have the story. Just credit me in the first chapter. That's all. Just say, hey, thanks, King of Zero X, you're awesome.
Well, of course you get credit if I started it, but I'm not sure if I could start it yet anyway. I was just messing with you, really.
Right. Yeah, but you know what? I actually am still kind of working on it.
Well, I'm excited.
It.
I'm excited about it.
I've been working on really laying down the concepts for it, because you're changing a lot with that. Because
Okay.
Yeah, but we're getting off
an
topic.
hour in. This is just very much off topic.
Very much off topic.
And
Let's stop talking about ourselves.
very much behind the scenes as well. And this is like an hour into the recording, and we're not even halfway through. So,
Okay.
light bulb ideas. Anyone else?
Yeah, I seem to get those all the time at very random times. A lot of which is when I'm trying to sleep.
Good.
And so the idea won't go away until I put it down, which makes sleeping difficult. That's probably the reason I'm an insomniac. So yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Ethan, you got anything?
I kind of want to do mine, but it's also kind of weird.
So
You're the
Okay.
weird one, though, so it's in character for you.
Kind of fitting, yeah.
All right. Okay, so I was reading this same-sex romance novel,
Okay.
and it was getting to the point where the two main characters were finally kind of getting like, hey, let's fuck. And so they are, and as I'm reading...
It's a bit abrupt, but okay.
all right.
All right.
Know what they want. I can get down with that. Yeah.
You guys just lost all composure right there for a few seconds.
And anyway, as I was reading it, I was kind of realizing it was basically just a really formulaic sex scene. So I was just kind of leafing through the pages, not really paying attention, just to make sure I didn't miss any important plot points. And as I was doing this, I was kind of realizing I might have an idea from this. Like, I just got an idea from kind of leafing through and just kind of daydreaming. And I was just like, I might be able to do something. And so I've just kind of started typing out the main skeleton and basically plot for what I'm doing for National Novel Writing Month.
Well, all right then.
Okay. I have one, but it sucks, and it's not really about writing a story.
Yes, but does it involve gay sex?
You really did set a bar there. Thank you for that. Yeah. Trying to sleep one night, and I just randomly start thinking about numbers, and out of all of them, I end up thinking about the number 373.
That's strangely specific.
And within the next 10 minutes, I figure out that 373 is a prime. 37, the first two digits, are also a prime. 73, the last two digits, are a prime. Adding the digits together, you get 13, which is a prime. And all three digits individually are also primes. So, yeah, that's going to have to be, like, something significant in one of my Harry Potter stories, because they're, like, primes in those stories. That's really going to be significant somehow. I have no idea how I came up with that while I was trying to sleep, but it just sort of happened.
Just turns into, like, 23. You start writing stuff on your walls and on your body.
That was a weird night, but it's pretty cool.
For some reason...
No.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
For some reason, you saying that reminds me of the 100 episode from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
I never saw it, so I don't know what you're talking about, but sure. Sorry.
Oh.
But yeah, that's my favorite number now, because I randomly thought about it while I was trying to sleep. I don't know.
Well, all right then.
I'm strange. I have strange moments sometimes.
That's my life.
The next topic is very small, so we can speed right through that one.
Yay, YouTube comments. 0.
Let me go
Unleash the beast!
Before you get in a big rant about this, I'll just cut in, and I'm basically ignoring it. That's my stance. I don't want anything to do with it.
I have two things to add as well.
0. 0. Please rant. Wait, no. Let him rant.
Okay. So the first thing about YouTube comments, and they kind of fixed this part, was that when I would ever, like, I always watch with, like, the whole lights off function on YouTube, where, like, the lights, where it's, like, all, like, dark. And, like, I was watching with that, and the YouTube comments were all white. And they were just, like, in my face, shining. Ugh. But,
why are they even on your screen? I mean, if you have it zoomed in far enough, the YouTube window fills the entire screen.
I think you've got them.
Well, you know what? The point is that what really has me angry is that sometimes, you know, I like to see responses to certain videos because sometimes they can be rather funny or entertaining. But then you look down and it's just everybody's just like, it's a lot worse. It's so much worse because everybody's so pissed off about the whole Google Plus thing that what they'll do is they just put giant text pictures of penises.
I think someone put the entirety of the Sonic the Hedgehog Wikipedia entry.
Yeah, I once saw on the comments the entire script for the Last Airbender film.
The thing that
The entire script, just the whole thing.
the thing that irritates me the most is not so much the way that it's formatted, but more so everybody's reactions to the way it's formatted.
Yeah, I'll admit, the YouTube comments thing seems really, really fucking stupid. Because it's the YouTube comments and people are all pissed off that it changed. It was YouTube comments.
Yeah,
It was already a cesspool of absolute rubbish.
You'll never find more of a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
There were some comments I find.
Someone stop me from making Star Wars quotes, please.
No.
Only
YouTube
a Sith
comments
deals
the
in black
last
and white.
YouTube comments were the last bastions of free speech. Don't you understand that? That's why people were mad. I don't care.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
It's irritating. Like, because I'm not zoomed in enough to just ignore them. Frickin' that irritates me because it zooms in all my other tabs.
I don't even look at YouTube comments.
You use the Internet Explorer? What the hell's wrong with you?
No, I don't.
Use Chrome.
I use Chrome, actually. But
Then
actually, you know what? Technically, I do have to scroll down to look at the comments, but still. I am zoomed in. Never mind. But still, it is annoying.
You're a dumbass.
Chrome doesn't do that for every tab. That's site-specific.
I just want to kind of put down my philosophy on this kind of thing, and I just want to say, don't give a fuck.
Thank you for your input, Ethan. That was valuable insight.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I think Google is the next Skynet. I'm beginning to think that.
Well, yeah, we all know that. It's just, we don't care.
I think Google is the only thing that's competing with the juggernaut that is Apple, and thus are my favorite company in the world.
Well, did you read that recent article where Apple sued Samsung?
Apple.
That's recent?
That was ages ago.
Oh. Well, I just remember reading that they finally got their entitlement, and Samsung gave them all of their money in nickels because the lawsuit never defined how they should pay the $1 billion.
That's kind of awesome.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, they just had dump trucks full of them. It was great.
Oh, that is like the biggest fuck you ever.
That's how you do it.
So now Apple has to count through all of them to make... And, I mean, they not only have to count through all of them to make sure that all of the money is there, but they also have to find a bank that will take all of it.
Well, there are those machines that will, change it all into notes.
But it's still in the economy. That's still $1 billion in the economy.
That's a good thing as well, because those machines actually donate a percentage of it to charity. So,
what?
Apple might actually do a good thing out of this.
Yeah,
actually, what?
Well, actually, I don't suppose it cares or matters since you're the one recording, but just to clarify for us.
What?
What?
Well, I mean, he's the one recording the conversation, so, it won't... If it cuts out, we'll be the only four who don't hear it.
You said the machines do, and then it made this sonic spring sound, and you stopped talking.
Oh. Huh. Okay.
Casey.
Anyway. Oh, right. Yeah, there's machines that you can put all your change into, and it gives you notes back. Yeah, and they donate a percentage of it to charity, so, if Apple have to do that, then all of that change becomes a 10% charity donation.
Hobos finally get what they want. Change.
Yeah. Suppose that's true. What was the settlement again?
$1 billion.
Wow.
Huh. So it's $100 million going to charity because Samsung decided they wanted to be dicks to Apple.
$100 million.
Which I fully get behind.
Things.
Yeah, I know, it's a percentage. So I'm saying 10%.
Oh, okay.
Am I the only one that understands numbers?
Yes.
No.
I learned them.
Anyway.
Half, okay?
I learned them. I
Okay.
learned them, but I forgot them because I didn't need them anymore.
You really don't. Not really.
Says the two guys who are still kind of fighting with minimum wage employment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would knowing math do to solve that problem?
Yeah, he kind of has a point considering I'm unemployed and they have jobs. So that's I'm depressed. Anyway.
This topic went on longer than I expected it would.
Yeah,
now we've turned into Fandom Flux.
Oh.
Mm.
All right, next topic is Ethan's because he wanted to talk about reactions to game criticism.
Yeah, basically I kind of wanted to talk about how everyone flips out if someone else doesn't have the exact opinion they do. And I've kind of noticed this tends to be isolated towards video games specifically. And I'm going to kind of have a bit of a, not necessarily ancient, but a kind of a point that was introduced a very long time ago, and that would be GameStop's infamous 8.8 review of Zelda Twilight Princess, and how everyone flipped out just because even though everyone kind of established that it's a good game, there was this one guy who thought differently.
He didn't think differently. 8.8 is an amazing score.
Yeah, well,
yeah, they
wanted
for
10s.
every
They wanted
game.
10s. That's the thing.
Well, fuck off. You can't get perfect every time.
I know. Not to mention, what if it does have flaws, and he just put down the 10, and it's like, but we want stuff to point out, you know? It's his job to have a different opinion.
Mm.
I mean, that's how
They
Giant
have an
Bomb was
opinion in
formed, a
general.
different opinion.
Yeah. Incidentally, Jeff Gersman, the guy that wrote the 8.8 review, founder of Giant Bomb. Well, one of them. Again, rest in peace, Ryan Davis.
Well, I mean, was it Ryan Davis or the other guy who talked about Kane and Lynch?
That was Jeff Gersman.
Yeah.
He got fired, and Ryan Davis followed him out.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't like watching reviews in general. The only one I watch is Zero Punctuation, and even then I don't take them seriously, like at all.
Yeah, that's more of an entertainment thing. That's not really a
Yeah.
review.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
It is really
just kind of.
entertaining, though.
I mean, he's even told people not to to still have their own opinions, even though he makes points. And I'll admit, sometimes he has some decent points, but it's still your opinion. No one's going to change that, and you certainly can't change someone else's.
Pretty much, yep. There's also,
You kind of can change someone else's opinion. That's what debating is.
The Ku Klux Klan
That's
still has a
right.
website, dude. People's opinions aren't going to change.
yeah. I see there's, The Last
Yeah,
of
I'm
Us
going to
had
pretend that
somebody
that's
like
an okay point.
Somebody gave it a low score. And what was the other one? A GTA 5, I believe. Somebody on, I think it was The Escapist, actually gave it like a 4 out of 10.
Jesus, really?
What for? Like, what were his grounds?
Story was
I
Because
didn't
I actually
really
like
read the
about
review
different
because I'm not
people.
interested in the game.
It's probably
So.
because the story was weak.
Mm.
Yeah, the story is weak, doesn't give it a 4. I mean,
GTA 5 is basically all about online. If you don't like playing games online, then there's really no reason to play GTA 5.
I imagine when the review came out, the online wasn't working
Yeah,
yet.
it was probably when it came out, the online was probably all screwed up.
Bit of a minefield.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was ever one that kind of got to me personally, and I haven't, and I never would really say it has, just because I've always been pretty complacent about people when they have different opinions. Mostly just because I like hearing why. Like, I like hearing that other people have different opinions, and I like discussing them.
When I was much younger, I've always liked Kingdom Hearts 2, and I was much younger and I read the comic Dueling Analogs. He was kind of bad-mouthing Kingdom Hearts 2 because it was basically just mashing X and you win. And so I know that was true. I already knew that was true, but I didn't like that being voiced, I guess. I don't know.
Apparently
Not like
he
I was
never
raging
fucks
about it,
Sephiroth.
but it just annoyed me highly.
It's a good comic, though. Or it was when I was reading it. I stopped reading it, like, I don't know, a year or two ago.
Yeah.
I have never actually read, like, seriously invested in that kind of webcomic where it's like two guys discussing video games, because I feel Penny Arcade, despite all the good stuff they've done, the comic itself is pretty hit and miss, and
It's very hit and miss.
and Control Delete is just very, I wouldn't say bad, it's just bland.
It was good once, and then they
It was.
did that plot arc, and then it was just, I'm done with this.
Yeah, that plot arc that tried to be real, and
I mean,
it's not a real comic.
I feel that you can do a pretty good like shift from gag-a-day comic to like stories every once in a while. Like a good example would probably be Walkie, if anyone ever read that.
No.
Basically, it started going from gag-a-day comic strips to full-on story, and those were pretty good. However, Control-Alt-Delete was not one of those times where lightning struck.
Order of the Stick, on the other hand, is a perfect example.
Yeah, so is Alguna's Shive.
That wasn't really a gag-a-day kind of thing. There was always a plot there.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you read the early stuff, it was much more self-contained.
The arcs were much shorter, yeah.
Yeah, like, say, for example, the first arc is just like some science experiment is wreaking havoc, go stop it.
Do a comic.
Yeah.
People should read that.
I actually kind of stopped just because I got fed up with waiting for updates, but then again, that's my problem with every webcomic.
I had problems with the site, and I just kind of fell out of the contact with that comic. I should probably read that at some point.
Yeah, it's still great.
Also, I want to get caught up, but I just can't. But I kind of want to start from the beginning again, and I just can't tolerate his really shitty art back then.
Yeah, he was kind of emulating the Dragon Ball kind of style back then.
And was kind of bad at it.
Yeah,
but now he's really good.
Now
he's really good.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long to get bearable again. I reread the beginning, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago. It's not that bad for very long.
Is there any point where you could recommend I could just drop in?
Not that I can remember.
Actually, I think I'll probably drop in around when Ellie starts showing up.
Ellen.
Yeah, Ellen.
That's probably the best point.
Because that's actually when things start actually getting kind of cool.
Yeah. I think we'll move on from that topic that we were supposedly on, the reactions thing.
Okay.
We're kind of on the closing topics here. We're on recommendations. So,
can I go first? Because I've kind of...
Okay.
Okay, yeah. It's not actually a fic, but the anime My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute is actually really good. I mean, you expect, like, incest stuff, but it's not, actually.
Okay.
Shut up, Ethan.
Yeah, anyway.
Sorry, I just kind of heard incest, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
It goes into deeper themes and stuff, and it's actually pretty deep at times, so it gets a rec for me. And I'm tentatively recommending this one. It's a fic called Rain of Ice. That's like king reigning over... It's not like water rain. And it's a Bleach Harry Potter crossover. That's just started reading it. It's interesting, I guess. It's like Harry Potter is taken from the home by Matsumoto and Renji, I think it is. And he's like raised as Hitsugaya.
Oh, I think I've read that one. That was okay. Yes.
So there's more.
Yeah, speaking of tentatively recommending, I just want to go back a couple of weeks ago. I recommended Drifting. Tentatively.
Drift compatible.
I'm going to take off the tentatively part and say I'm straight up recommending that because that's a good story and really deserves more praise than I gave it now that there were problems with it that I commented on that have been solved. So, you know.
Would you like to resell it? Because I don't remember that one.
Naruto, basically raised by animals, kind of, except not. Randomly falls into a transport and ends up getting taken to Land of the Great River and having a great big adventure, and then he comes back, and then it kind of happens again, and it's kind of contrived and stupid, but whatever, you can move past it and you get to a good story. That's the one, yeah. So, worth reading. Take a look at it now if you were put off by my tentative recommendation before.
Alright,
so someone else want to go while I look up a recommendation that I could use?
I'll go ahead and do that.
Alright,
so mine mostly kind of dwells in the sort of land of anime mostly for this time, but it's really good ones at that. Did anyone here ever watch this one called Serial Experiment Lane?
No.
Okay, well, basically it was kind of in that point in the 90s where people started doing some really freaky stuff. And it's basically this really big philosophical experimental anime about the possibilities of the internet at the time. And it does a lot of literary and philosophical references, and it's very good from like just kind of watching and seeing how it all ties together. And my other one is basically anything by this director named Satoshi Kon. And he did films like Paprika and Tokyo Godfathers. And unfortunately, he has passed away due to a severe stomach cancer, but what he has is really worth a treat because it's also more experimental, philosophical animation, and I really like that kind of thing. So, yeah.
All right, then.
Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go, because I have to leave in like 10 minutes.
All right.
I'm going to recommend King of Serpents, which is Harry Potter and Artemis Fowl crossover by Karate Master 101.
I might have read that one.
It's good. It's basically Artemis Fowl ends up going to Hogwarts, which, if you've read Artemis Fowl, kind of screws up everybody who knows Artemis Fowl. They're like, oh my gosh, he's so evil, and now he has magic. We're screwed.
At what point in the book series, like, is he good
From
yet?
the very
or is he
beginning.
still evil?
From the beginning.
Oh, okay, so he's still a huge dick.
Like, yeah, from when he's like, because it starts off like Harry Potter when he's 11, but like Artemis goes in when he's 12.
Mm.
Like he has to catch up a whole year. But it's very good. He sort of he ends up getting sorted into Slytherin, obviously. And him and Draco sort of have a rivalry type thing, and they eventually sort of like become friends, and like it kind of alternates between the two because they're both in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for example, there's one during the summer they go to they do the second book of Artemis Fowl,
where
but,
he
like,
has
Draco
to save his
comes
dad.
with him. Yeah,
Okay.
but Draco ends up coming with him, and he
So
starts
there's
doing
still,
Harry
like,
Potter.
Yeah. So the underground society of fairies still exists, right?
That still
Okay.
exists. So it's kind of it integrates the two series very well. They're both in the same universe, and he kind of jumps back between the two.
Okay, that's kind of cool. I don't know. I kind of dropped out around the fifth book. Actually.
I haven't read the final book.
Mm.
It will never end for me. I don't want to read the final book.
I don't know, and I also didn't really like when Owen Colford took the wheel for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy either. But I've been kind of
You've
vocal on.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I liked the series for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I was young when I started it, so I don't know what I would think if I went back and started reading the Artemis Fowl books again. But it was fun.
Yeah.
At least the first couple ones.
Slicerness. Anything from you?
Didn't you already go?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
right,
already
Casey.
went.
Sorry.
It's Ken this time.
Okay.
All right, this one's like out of my normal wheelhouse, but it's great as far as I'm concerned. All right, this is It's a Ranma and Rosario plus vampire crossover by this guy named Black Dragon 6, and it's called Big Human on Campus. And if you go in understanding that there's nothing about the story that's meant to be taken seriously, it is amazing. It's the funniest thing I've ever read. And about 5 or 6 times a chapter, I laughed my ass off for a good 2 to 3 minutes about one joke he made. So it's worth picking up if you know anything about either of those two things. I like it, and yeah. He's written other stuff that I think is hilarious, but that one's my favorite.
Is it labeled as like something not to be taken seriously, or is that just your specific?
It's not, like when you it's just a pretty generic like summary. You wouldn't know going in, except for the fact that it's like labeled humor, supernatural department. That like if it wasn't labeled humor, like you wouldn't know. Like the summary wouldn't make it. It wouldn't let you know it was funny, but it's hilarious. All right, you can't take any of it seriously.
Trying to decide what to recommend this week. I think I'll go with Embers by Vathara. It's an Avatar fic, as in The Last Airbender. It's a bit of an AU from the point in the second season where Zuko is kind of not sure about the path he's taking, is living as a civilian, and kind of branches off from there, and he takes a more... He does his, the heel face turn about a season early. And it goes very deep into, like, the cultures that the show is based on, so the Fire Nation is a lot more focused on honor and are really pissed off by, like, the Airbenders, legitimately so, and he has a legitimate grievance with Aang because they had an agreement at the very beginning of the show, and Aang welched on it. And so it goes into different cultural values of the different nations very deeply, and a lot to do with the animals, the spirit animals, like the dragons. Dragons are a very big thing in the story. So it's a very long fic as well. It's over 700,000 words, so it's a long read, but it's very worth it if you love the show, because it does it justice, I think.
Is it all from Zuko's point of view, or is it just like a skip around? Or
it starts pretty much just from Zuko's point of view, and then it starts to skip around later on, I think.
What's it called?
It's been a while since I read it. Embers.
Okay.
By Vathara. Vathara. It's a very good story. Alright, we end on the recommendations topic. I say usually, we've done it twice. But we actually have 2 more topics. The next one is unrecommendations. So, pretty much the opposite of recommendations. Things that you should just stay away from and not bother with, ever. So, if someone else wants to go for that, because I'd have to find something.
I have a difficult time with this, because if I hate something enough, I make myself forget it exists.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem.
Well, okay, fine. Colonial Marines. Stay away from that game.
Yeah,
don't even.
That's a fair point.
I don't know. I feel that's one of those ones you have to experience to get to just like see how bad it is.
Watch the videos.
I'll tell you what, if we're doing that,
don't
Fable
support
3.
the game at all. Don't.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
If we're doing that, Fable 3. That one's
yeah. Especially
I don't know. That one has parts that are redeemable in it.
3rd act, dude.
Okay,
Third
that
act.
didn't exist. That never happened. The game just ends.
Look at this
after you
big
get back to
shadow
the
power that was never mentioned before, but it's here and it's evil, and that's totally why your brother turned evil for no apparent reason.
And I just hate the fact that you only have 2 decisions, where it's either work everyone to the bone but survive the evil apocalypse, or let everyone just have a few years of serenity. You can't just work them off and then stop once you beat the bad guys.
What happened? My brother managed to do, and our strategy was, we bought everything, and then we just had so much money that we just paid for the entire thing and just had a peaceful, perfect game.
You either do it personally like that, or you just buy everything and then you cheat your Xbox, where you set it ahead like 4 years. Or higher, and then you get billions of dollars. Because in Fable 2, there's a cap on how much you can get while offline. It's like 10 times what you make. In Fable 3, there is no cap. You make everything. All the money.
Can I just mention how Teresa is totally the fucking villain of the entire series,
really
and they're not acknowledging this at all?
In the final scene of Fable 2, you see her smile from straight on. It's right in front of the camera. It's just the creepiest crap.
The tower
ever.
is mine, and she shoves you out of it. She's a fucking villain. Are you fucking kidding me?
She's just waiting for all the heroes to die. Like the line
How
to
are they not
completely go dead.
acknowledging this? The developers are not acknowledging it at all. They're treating it like she's still a good guy, but she's totally fucking not. I don't get it. Anyway, that's my rant done.
Anybody have any recommendations? I was unprepared for this.
Yeah, I think we all were.
I wasn't aware of it. I thought I'd get something.
Don't ever watch Tron Legacy.
Is it a bad film? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the original.
I actually kind of enjoyed it, not knowing anything about the previous one.
It's same here, actually.
I didn't like it. Like, the acting was all wooden and hollow. Ugh.
They're in a machine.
I don't care.
They're in a game. That's my personal excuse. They're in a game.
Human, okay? The 2 main characters are human, okay?
His dad sucked and left him there. Excuse.
So that excuses his lack of ability to emote and express emotion, even rage.
Yes,
he is an
philosophical.
emotionally damaged person.
Yes. Don't make fun of him.
Yeah. I admit I don't give a shit about Tron, except for David Warner played the master computer in the first one, and he's kind of awesome. That's the only reason I'm interested.
I was just gonna say that the soundtrack for Tron Legacy was really good.
Daft Punk did that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they did.
Weren't they in the movie?
Yeah, they did. They had like a little cameo spot where I think they were either DJs or just like some extra guys.
Yeah, they were DJs. What a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Anyone else have any unrecommendations?
I do, but this one's kind of for like, some of you guys are going to go against mine. I personally would say try and avoid Sonic Adventure 2 if you originally enjoyed it your first playthrough, because I played it once, stopped for 5 years, went back to it, and realized it was kind of a crappy game.
The Chow Garden still holds up, actually.
Yeah, Chow Garden.
That's about the only part of it that does, though.
I like the shadow parts personally. I just do.
Maria.
That was a cool plot until they brought him back.
Yeah.
It would actually be kind of
the Shadow the Hedgehog game makes me sad.
Shadow the Hedgehog game was terrible.
Yeah, avoid that. That's my unrecommendation. Avoid that.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Basically, everything post Sonic Adventure 2 would be a good idea to avoid.
False.
Okay, except for Sonic.
Unleashed was okay, and Generations was great.
And so was Colors. So basically, there's a big gap that you jump over.
Yeah, Adventure 2, Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog, and Sonic 06.
Yeah.
Just ignore all those games.
There's also the Werehog game.
That's Unleashed.
That was fine. That was okay.
Well, the day stuff.
There was too much of the night stuff, though. It was unbalanced.
Yeah, especially when the night stuff took like 20 minutes a level and the day stuff took like 3.
Yeah, it could have been good, but it was just way unbalanced.
Also, avoid the Sonic storybook stuff.
Oh, Secret Rings and Black Knight, yeah.
Secret Rings was actually kind of fun. Black Knight.
Oh. I don't know, I just didn't like the mission layout.
Yeah, but it was interesting. Yeah. Black Knight was... Okay. I didn't really like that.
No.
I beat both those games, though. Simply because I have to beat a game.
Well, I mean, it's because Sonic... Okay, well, it's because like every Sonic fan has to play the next one just because they have to hope that there's that one spot where Sonic will finally start being good again and start having his golden streak back.
It happened in Generations.
Okay, well, I have to go now, guys.
Oh,
okay.
I was going to say we got a question, so I wanted to skip to that real quick so you could.
I'll let you guys handle the question. So,
all right,
I'm bowing out.
Fair enough.
Latest.
All right, see you.
Later.
See ya.
You just abandon me like everyone else.
Sorry. I'm sorry, but Thor: The Dark World is calling.
Oh, seriously? Cool.
Can you take me with you?
No. Unless you... Wait. Can you get on an airplane really quick?
No. It's okay. I can wait.
Okay.
Do you happen to have the Flash handy? Maybe he could get you here in time.
If you have any sort of teleportation device or like that Thor light bridge thing, that might help.
I think it's awesome.
Okay, you can go now, Zero.
Yeah.
Shoo.
See ya.
Oh God, you guys are picking that up, aren't you?
Yes.
Totally.
Please edit it out.
Not a chance in hell.
Go
All right.
fuck yourself and die.
Last topic. We're closing this out with this one. We got a question, and for once, for the first time ever in history, in Fandom Flux history, we got a comment on the Blogspot page. I have talked about that fucking page for the past 3 weeks, and we finally get a fucking comment. What's his name? I need to get his name.
You know, this is probably why people don't comment, is because we make a huge deal about
Jonathan Lobo, you are a god among men.
Come on, you gotta act like you've been there before.
Your name shall be set up with the name of kings.
Shut up.
Right.
All right.
Go fuck yourself and die, Casey.
All right. So his question was, Have you ever stumbled upon another fandom through a crossover and then learned all about that fandom only through fan fictions without ever seeing the original?
And we kind of decided to boil it down to more like, have you ever found one fan you like?
Have you ever just jumped into a fandom and gone into it through that rather than actually reading the original stuff?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yes, I have.
Same here.
Yep.
Who
I
wants
write
to go
for that
first?
fandom. I'll go
Mine's
first.
kind of short, so I'll go last.
All right.
Naruto. I have tell a lie. I watched 10 episodes of Naruto. That's it.
Okay.
All this and more
Kind
will
of.
be revealed.
Because I'm now writing for that fandom, even though I haven't seen the original stuff at all. So, almost like 90% of my knowledge of that series is from fan fictions, and the rest of it I get from the wiki, because I have no intention of ever reading the manga. So, there you go. That's mine.
All right. I have two. The shorter one would be Fate Stay Night, actually. The guy who asked the question cited that one as his. Also, the fic From Fake Dreams. That's also a recommendation, kind of. That's a really good fic. And I just kind of got into Fate Stay because of it. And I'm still waiting to watch the anime until when my internet improves. It's been terrible lately. The other one would be Harry Potter. I was reading Chunin Exam Day, and then I finished it and wanted more from that author because I had low standards at the time. And so I read Half Kissed Hero, or that's what it's called, right?
Partially Kissed Hero.
That's it, Partially Kissed Hero. And that, believe it or not, actually got me into the Harry Potter fanfiction fandom.
Yeah. Actually, the same fic, Chunin Exam Day, was the first Naruto fic that I ever read.
Huh.
And that got me into the fandom. So, there you go. Not exactly the easiest, jumping in point, but there you go.
Not really. That also has a lot of non-canon material, so was that confusing?
It does, but that was later on, though, when it started getting into the different villages stuff.
Ah.
Like, I think it was saying, like, 1010 was from a clan in Sand. That kind of thing that was non-canon.
Right,
and maybe some of the tail
the
beasts, and that was about it.
Thing.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a
That was a pretty cool
spoiler.
idea.
I don't know if anybody's not read that would be interested by now.
It was a pretty cool idea.
It was, yeah.
I mean, you don't actually see that at all in Naruto. Like, deep cover stuff and infiltration just doesn't happen.
It's talked about, but it's never actually seen, so yeah.
So basically acting like actual ninjas.
Yeah.
That is a really weird concept in the Naruto universe. I was going to mention this earlier, but it seems like the word ninja has become lost all.
Yeah.
If you have a headband.
For ninjas, they're very samurai-like. I mean, Naruto's ninja way.
He wears bright orange, for Christ's sakes.
His ninja way is supposedly, I never go back on my word. What the fuck kind of ninja never goes back on his
That's
word?
his entire job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of makes it hard to try and write, like in History Strong and Shinobi. It kind of makes it hard to try and keep to his character while making him a fucking actual ninja. Makes it rather difficult at times, but I think I'm trying to work with it.
I just think of them as ninja posers.
Yeah, they kind of are. They're very shinobi. They're very samurai-like for ninja.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There's also, oh, right, Ken, you can go.
Oh, all right. I need fingers and toes for this. Let's see. The entire Negima thing, Rosario plus Vampire, Ranma. Let's see, what else is there? Well, those are the ones off the top of my head, but there's way more. I don't read source material. I don't read source material unless I'm really intrigued by what I see.
That's quite a list.
There's more. I just haven't thought of them at the moment.
Some big names in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, for me, I've got two specifically that I want to point out. The first one is Metal Gear Solid for me, because I just can't get into playing them because I just can't handle waiting through all of the bullshit to be able to play the games. Because there's a lot of bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, only the first and second ones are even worth
What about
playing,
the third
really.
one?
Snake Eater's amazing.
Yeah.
In fairness, I haven't played that one, so I don't know.
You should.
2 completely turned me off the series, so...
Snake Eater's the best.
I don't
Snake Eater's the best one.
What's wrong with Raiden? He's
Raiden-
got a cool sword now and is talking dog buddy.
No.
Yeah, God.
Bark.
What's really sad is I actually really want to play Revengeance.
It's really good. It's really good.
It's really
Not
good.
because it's Metal Gear, but because it's a character action game.
Made by
Yeah,
Platinum
so-
Games.
Yeah, Platinum Games.
And I mean,
And I
if this is what they can do on a budget, it shows you something.
The soundtrack is also amazing in that game.
It really is.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's more that it's that kind of rock where it's there just to like get you really pumped. But for what it is, it's pretty good. Anyway, we're getting way off topic from my point. But my point is, I started watching these guys who were doing Let's Plays of the entire Metal Gear Solid series, and they do commentary over the cutscenes in some of the games. And and it's just gotten to the point where I'm able to laugh along with them while I'm listening and focused on the plot, and they're really good. There are these guys called Chip Cheesem and General Ironicus, and I've mentioned them a few times before, and they're really good. And the second one is you guys might laugh at me for this one, but it's this one called Sailor Moon, and I'm saying it because all of the characters besides Usagi, who is the titular Sailor Moon, are much more interesting.
They are, yeah.
Like,
I was into
phenomenally
that
cool.
show as a kid. I mean, not to be ashamed of that.
Like, I mean, what is Usagi basically? She is a superficial, whiny bitch who gets everyone else to solve her problems for her. And let's look
She's
at
pretty much.
blonde. That's it. She's blonde.
Dude.
yeah. Let's not go
That
there.
might be offensive, but I mean, she's like the very stereotype of a blonde. I don't mean literally a blonde. She is the stereotype.
Yeah, those blondes, they're so stupid and vapid, aren't they? Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Why are you taking this-
Kenchi,
taking this to heart?
how's your very light blonde hair looking?
Fantastic.
Casey. Yes. Casey, not Kenchi.
I'm so glad I'm not as insecure as I used to be when I called it platinum blonde. No, it's fucking white. I'm not blonde. You're alright, Slicer.
All right, then.
And but like, yeah, compare her to my two favorite characters, which are Mitsuru and Haruka, which is who basically have the best romance of the series and are really interesting characters along with that. Especially if you read the fan fiction where people actually delve into a lot of the more interesting what-ifs of their characters.
Yeah, the only thing I know about Sailor Moon is that Tuxedo Mask is apparently a boss. I only know that because of Ray Narvaez Jr., who is also a boss.
I actually
Well,
really hate Tuxedo Mask. I don't know why.
He
I've never
was
liked him.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like they even tried to hide the fact who Tuxedo Mask is.
Yeah.
Like, even the music has little nods, because he has the little clacking things going on in them. In both of his motifs.
Yeah, but you get that a lot in, like, soundtracks. It's supposed to be subtle most of the time, but it just doesn't work when it's so obvious
Yeah,
otherwise.
I just feel like he took his disguise cues from Team Rocket.
Team Rocket were pretty damn good at disguises.
No, they weren't! They put on a mustache.
Have you seen the band episode on the beach?
Oh, you mean where they made James into a woman?
Yeah. How the hell? I mean, really?
He was pretty
How did
feminine to begin with, dude.
Yeah, but he was like E's or something. E-cups. How? There was no, like... What,
Actually, if I recall correctly, he could inflate them on cue.
Yeah. That would require some very invasive surgery, I imagine.
I actually think it was just a suit. I think it was just a suit.
Yeah. It's a pretty convincing suit, in fairness, then.
Right, pulling it away from that.
Talking about female. Let's stop talking about transgender James, please.
Okay.
That happened a lot.
Two things. One, if what I said is slightly less offensive because I'm blonde if I get enough sun. And two, the guy who made the comment recommended a fic, which I read ages ago because it was Naruhina, and I read everything, no matter how bad it was.
And what I remember of the fic, it wasn't too bad. It was both Naruto and Hinata had masks, I guess. They explored that concept, really. It was an older one. And they kind of found out about each other because they were out at night training, and they just kind of befriended each other. And they remained secret about it, about basically everything, really.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
So there's an extra recommendation from the Knight of Naruhina. Okay, and we're doing the outro. I had to re-record this last time, and I did it perfectly, and now I've really set myself up. Okay. Once again, thank you for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast, Episode 10. If you wish to, you can get in contact with us on the Blogspot page through the comments, or you could contact us through our own personal Twitters, or the official Fandom Flux Twitter at Fandom Flux. Finally, you could contact us through our own personal profiles on fanfiction.net. I think that's everything. And once again, thank you for listening to Fandom Flux Episode 10.
See ya.
Bye now.
Later.